Next up.
Did you have a comp for this guy? You didn't do this guy.
I didn't watch Luke Lachey.
Okay.
There's time for that. Okay. I instead was watching Jake Brinningstool out of Clemson.
Oh, God.
He's a senior. He's listed at 6'6", 235. So he is not an inline tight end just by the eyeball test. He played 60% of his snaps outside. But I was impressed with him because that offense is sometimes hard to watch as well. I thought he had build-up speed, and he ran away from second, third-level defenders when he got in space, showed the ability with yards after the catch, had good hands, ran crisp routes for being a tight end, and showed his ability to high point the ball and make contested catches downfield. I mean, there are plenty of occasions on tape where he's stacking defenders from the slot. And the more you watch and the more you felt about him being a pretty good athlete, even by tight end standards, as they sort of turn into these uber athletes. I don't know if either of you had a chance to watch Jake or if I'm the only one that is riding this train.
I watched him.
Okay. What'd you think?
So my worry, I've been burned by undersized tight ends. Because at the NFL level, if you can't get respected as an inline blocker, and at 6'6", listed at 230 last year, you said 235 now, that's just below. You're getting treated as a wide receiver, right? No one's going to ask you to block a defensive end in the NFL at that size. So he needs and especially 6'6", 235 versus maybe like a Jaheim Bell who was like a 6'2", 235. It's a much different sort of body mass distribution. He's still really skinny. So he has to get at 6'6", like up into the 250 range before we're talking about a guy that can block DN. So that's worrisome to me. And then, so if you're not, getting respected as being on the block inline or block in line and defensive ends, you might as well be a wide receiver. And if we're calling him just a wide receiver, I saw a guy who was like borderline draftable if you called him just a wide receiver, like 6th, 7th round sort of guy. So it's just difficult for me. I need to see him get up to real NFL tight end size before I'm going to go to bat for him. Obviously, there's a lot to like, but I didn't see like Darren Waller, who ran in the 4.4s as a 230 pounder. That makes me think that when he adds 20 more pounds, he'll still be an athletic tight end. I didn't quite see that high end of an athlete.
Yeah, Rick, what do you do with athletic, undersized tight ends in terms of how you talking about them and how they fit into the offense when you're running a team?
Draft them in the 6th and 7th round. Don't put him number 2 on your list.
All right, there you have it.
That's
why you're doing a podcast.
Yeah. I didn't watch this guy yet, but I watched the North Carolina kid, Nesbitt, I think is his name. It's almost the same, sounded very similar.
This kid's better
but he's only 230 pounds. Couldn't block his way out of a paper bag. And then he's just like a big glorified non-athletic receiver.
Yeah, that's not this kid. And I would argue, since it's 2 against 1 now, and I'm fine with that. My whole life I've had to fight uphill. I would argue that Jake is a better blocker than Mitchell, pound for pound. So,
come on.
We'll find out together this fall. But that's what makes this great. You guys hating on Dabo Swinney. You guys are going to be in Tyler on that call into the show when Dabo goes off on you two, just so you know.
I didn't know we talked about Swinney as a tight end.
Dabo's the coach. Remember we got angry at Tyler for calling in, talking all that trash?
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about Dabo. We're talking about this long beanpole tight end that you like so much.
Who do you think my comp is, Rick?
I don't know. Is there a comp?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll like it or not. This guy, I think would have been drafted much higher had he not suffered the injuries he had concussion-wise. Grant Calcaterra, because he was a beanpole as well.
Yeah.
All right.